Good morning, this is Mr. D, Guild Daddy D, or just plain D, coming at you with this week's Global Lab patch notes for July 25th. As we dig right in, it looks like we're going to start off with the highly anticipated Blue Battlefield. Blue Battlefield was announced. It's basically a ocean node war. As we scroll down, the rewards is PvP content between guilds using ships. It is content that captures and protects a citadel based on each island in the Black Desert world and harmonizes with the guild members to win the victory. Capture the citadels created on the blue battlefield and protect them. You'd be able to the opposing guild's heavy line. Will you be able to survive the opposing guild's heavy line and galley? Keep the citadel until it is finally occupied. So the major rewards get between 2 and 4 billion silver for the guild. Loot boxes, you get up to 5,000 crow coins, an origin stone of Okila, the Deep Seas Haywan stone box, and gold bars. You get a house buff of life proficiency up to 75, up to 40% life experience, and up to 30% crew experience. So how to apply? Sunday to Friday, just like Node Wars, 2100 to 2200. Progress server it's going to be on Odalita server. On the day of the blue battle, you can apply 1 hour before the start time. Adventurer who has the right to apply for a guild captain or a stronghold. So those of you who have the appropriate roles in your guild, hit menu, go to war, apply via blue battlefield button from the in-game menu for the Sea of Balanos. On the day of the main battle, the participation guild is confirmed 15 minutes before the start time. For those of you who don't know, to confirm, when you are in-game, you hit G, and then you have to hit that little participate button next to your contract button. And then guild members participating in the stronghold battle can participate in the guild 1 status tab by pressing the participation unengagement button to participate in the blue battle, what we just talked about. So here's the map. The map is the areas where the blue battlefields are played are the Battle of Balanos. According to the number of guilds who participate in the blue battlefield, a blue battlefield citadel is created among the islands below. So it could be any of those islands. It's kind of wonky as far as resolution. Let's see if we can maybe scroll up here and see. Let's see. There's 2, 2, 5. Okay, so it looks like it's from Liz Island and Louver Island, Narvo Island, and Marca Island. And then Inverna, Angie, Belvige, Marlene, Avito, and Duck Island. Going all the way over to Luviana Island. And then it ends at like Ouida Island, Paratama Island, and FD Rune Island. Basically, all of those little islands in between Lima and Velia. Makes sense. The type of blue battlefield citadel and end time. Set randomly during the end time below. Minimum 20 minutes, maximum 60, and you don't know the end time ? Base. The 5-step citadel will be on one of those islands. The 4-step citadel will be on one of those islands, and the 3-level citadel will be on one of these islands. Here's the ships you can use. The Guild Galley. It is a guild vessel that can be boarded by a large number of guild members on the inner deck and left-right. You can strategically distribute your participants on decks and guns to play on the blue battlefield. If personnel are placed on the inner deck, the captain's command can use pure wind rapid navigation technology to increase in maneuverability. By deploying personnel on the artillery and firing directly, you can increase your firepower against the citadels and ships. The internal deck and the captain's command skills can only be used on the improved Guild Galley. A guild galley deals less damage to other ships, but deals significantly more damage to the citadel. Each artillery on the galley ship must be aimed and fired directly by the deployed personnel, so it is recommended to aim for a citadel in a fixed position rather than hitting a moving target. Let's see. The Ephyria, they're calling that. Let's see what. So there's the Ephyria, or there's the Gallius, the Pancasin. So these are probably the 2 different kinds of Karax, maybe? So the Ephyria is a private vessel that can be used for a specific period of time through such methods as sudden barter. You can't get the sailor on board, but you have more durable gloves than the Ephyria heavy ship. Maybe more durable equipment. It has the amount of damage that can be compared to the Ephyria heavy duty ship. It's equipped with, we'll say, strong gloves, but that's probably a bad translation, but it can be in jeopardy of the concentration saturation of the majority of the inferior heavy ships and move and fight relatively freely. It is recommended to use your defensive capabilities to withstand enemy attacks and target the opponent's guild galley in a relative vulnerable state. So I guess this boat is for anti-guild galleys. The Etheria Heavy Ship is a private vessel capable of playing a variety of roles. The artillery on the Etheria Heavy Ship can also cause damage to the blue wall, but it can also be used to escort the guild galley, which deals more damage. Destroying the guild galley of the opposing guild will help you lead the battle to victory more effectively. Tip: in order to win on the blue battlefield, it is advantageous to occupy the blue battlefield, our blue battleground citadel, as an ally for the long time. Fight more fiercely with the opposing guild's vessels to destroy the opposing gulls that deal heavy or guild galleys that deal heavy damage to the citadel. So the assault ship is going to be anti-galley and defense, I guess. The Panoxen, or we call them in-game Panko, or in my guild, Panko. The Panko ship is a private vessel that can be used strategically through relatively high endurance and the deployment of sailors through a large cabin. Pankos can also cause damage to the blue battlefield citadel, but you can escort the guild galley, which causes more damage, or you could play the role of destroying the guild galley of the opposing guild. You can also use the technique rotational maneuver, which can take risks and rotate in one spot and alternately fire between the left and right hand shots. And then general ship, in addition, you can participate by using large ships such as destroyers, trading ships, improved Etheria frigates, and Etheria light ships. So the system: the delivery of Okilla is not applied to the server in time of the blue battlefield, and the final ability of the ship's movement is reduced by 30%. However, the Etheria heavy duty ship, which is specific to mobility, the ultimate stat of the speed is reduced by 15. On servers and hours with a blue battlefield, even if the ship is destroyed or remotely recovered, the sailor's health will not be reduced or sick. However, the destruction of the goods or trade goods loaded on the ship shall be the same as before. On servers and times on which the blue battle is taking place, you will not be able to use the ship repair function, including repair through subcaptain and the respawn item on board. On the blue battlefield, it is not possible to build an adjoining building near the citadel or within the battlefield, nor can it be installed with siege weapons. Come on, come on. 10 minutes before the start of the blue battlefield, in the upper right corner of the screen, Come Together is displayed. When you click on the feature, each participating guild will be moved to a randomly specified coordinates in the area below, Velia, Ilya, or Lima. Attention, come on, come on. When the character moves through the function, if there is a ship taken out, the vessel will be remotely recovered to the marina in the area where the character is located. In the case of remote recovery, the sailor's health and disease will not be affected, but in the case of trade goods, it should be noted that it is destroyed to prevent abusing. If there is no ship taken out, you can transfer the ship entrusted to you through the transport function of the vehicle of the turret, so of the wharf manager. In addition, if the guild vessel is taken out at the start of the blue battlefield, the vessel will be remotely recovered. So if you wish to use a guild vessel, it is recommended to leave it at the guild dock. Blue battlefield progression. The blue battlefield citadel temporarily occupied. When the blue map starts, you can check the number of active citadels and the remaining time through the world map and the right-hand widget on the screen. In this state, a citadel may be attacked by another guild and its durability may be consumed again, in which case the guild that has exhausted all the durability will be temporarily occupied again. The citadel of the blue battlefield cannot cause significant damage even if it is hit by a character, and it will be greatly damaged by a firearm attack through the ship, including the guild galley ship. So interesting. I wonder if that means like matchlocks. The final occupation of the blue battlefield citadel. The time for the end of the citadel has arrived. When the end time of the activated citadel arrives, the guild which has temporarily occupied at the time will eventually take over the citadel. On the blue battlefield, only one citadel per day can finally be occupied, and after the final capture, the guild's participation in the blue battleground ends. Even if one guild is occupying multiple citadels, only the citadels that were first guarded until the final capture time will be occupied, and the remaining citadels will be changed to neutrals. Exclusive items. If the ship is destroyed during the course of the blue battlefield, it is not necessary to move the character through swimming. Blue Battleground Maritime Rescue Map, you can move to the locations below. The item can be purchased through the NPC stores in Velia, Ilya, and Lima, and you'll be transported to the wharf managers. This item's available only to adventurers participating in blue battles on the server time on which the blue battle is played. On the blue battlefield, the name of other adventurers is changed so that you can see it from a greater distance. As a result, you can find information about other adventurers, including allies and enemies, on board the ship at a closer distance. On the blue battlefield, you use guild coloring features to make it easier to reorganize or recognize adventurers' information. So you pick your color, or it randomly picks the color, I guess. Oh no, you can color each participating guild, so you can set specific targets. Guild funds. Depending on the stage of the citadel that has succeeded in occupying the final occupation, the following taxes will be obtained. So for a 5-step, you get at least 3 billion up to 4 billion. A 4-step, you get 2.5 to 3.5, and a 3-step, you get at least 2 to 3. If you win, and the buffs you get. The guild which wins or takes part in the battle fiercely will activate the following family buffs which last for 48 hours. So conditions are: when the Citadel was finally captured by participating in the Blue Battle, all the guild members of the victorious guild were paid. Conditions of obtaining the buffs: if the Citadel is not finally occupied by participating in the Blue Battlefield, if the guild achieves the following conditions, it will be paid to the guild members participating in the Blue Battlefield. So the victory buff is you get 75% or 75 life proficiency, 40% life experience, and 30% sailor experience for 48 hours. And for participating, the guild members get life proficiency plus 50, gaining life experience plus 30%, and sailor experience 20%. The family buff effect of the blue battlefield and the base battle is not applied together, and it is updated with the most recent acquired buff effect. Personal awards. The following personal awards will be given to members who have won the final capture of the Citadel or who have participated. If you win, Stage 5, you get 5 blue battleground loot chests, a box of seawater in the deep sea, 5 gold bars of the glorious, and 1k gold bars. Stage 4, Stage 3, and participations. So you get 1 blue battlefield loot box, 3 gold bars. Just out of curiosity, how much are the gold bars? 1 kg, I always get these messed up. 1 kg is 100 million silver. So you get 300 million just for participating. And if you win by occupying a question mark base, you will receive 2 additional blue battleground loot boxes. So let's see what's in them. When you open, you can earn one of the following items according to odds: 5,000 crow coins, an Okilla origin stone, 3,000 crow coins, 1,000 crow coins, a gold box, anywhere from a base to a duo Manos accessory, 500 raven coins, 3 cents are deep sea perfumes, 3 perfumes of the courage, and then 5 black crystals of concentrated magic. Origin stone of Olakita, or we'll say Okilla. It is a source stone of the mysterious power of Okilla, the goddess of the ocean. With the energy of the ocean, you can return the sea stone that has already manifested in strength to the primordial state. Use: when processed with seaweed stone through the simple processing, you will get the gemstones that fit each grade. The acquired gemstone can be used with the same right click as before to earn one type of seaweed stone. So this is the stones for your boat. Deep sea stone box. It is a seaweed stone box that is believed to have been taken from the deep sea, and you can get more than yellow grade sea stones through them. Where to use: earn one of the following items according to the specified probability at the time of opening. You can get 1 to 3 origins of Magoria, 1 to 2 origins of Rusalka, a Magoria or a Rusalka crystal. Contribution: the most contributing adventurer of the guild's adventures who have won the blue battlefield will receive an additional reward of 1,000 crow coins. So for those of you who are grinding crow coins, this is the way to go. Opportunity to participate. In order to participate, you must have the opportunity to participate in the Stronghold Battle, which is initialized once every Monday at midnight. In the case of Blue Battlefield, the opportunity in the Stronghold Battle that was consumed when applying for participation in the main battle will be retained if the conditions below are met. The total number of ship kills of the guild belonging to the adventure on the Blue Battlefield is greater or equal to 10, or if the Citadel is temporarily occupied. So you have to participate and then, I guess, kill 10 ships to participate again. Depending on the update of the blue battlefield, the following changes will be made together. The time required to transfer a vehicle in the stable bracket has been reduced to 10 to 3 minutes. Transfer the current stable bracket or another stable bracket. Transfer the vehicle. Okay. The safe area near the village of Velia, the island of Ilya, and Lima Island Marina has been expanded. A guild dock custodian has been added to Ilya Island. In addition to Hemsworth, the guild dock custodian located on Lima, the guild ship custodian has been added to help the guild ship be found in the Boli neighborhood of the Nares. That's probably going to be a bad translation right there. The ability to transport guild vessels through guild dock custodians has been added. You can transfer the guild ship from the list of guild docks currently located. The vehicle transfer function at the bottom of the guild dock list allows the guild vessels in other guild docks to the current guild dock, and it takes 3 minutes. A new skill for the Panko, the instant life rotational maneuver, has been added. It takes 5,000 food, and you use Shift A or Shift D. Basically, you spin around in place faster. When taking out a vessel through the guild marina, the guild dock keeper, the location with the private vessel has been adjusted to ensure that it does not overlap. So, Blue Battlefield is coming. I know I've been looking forward to this. It'll be interesting to see if there are sea guilds left, how many will participate. Additions and improvements. It is the Black Desert Studio. This week, the foretold combat system improvements have been applied. As there have been changes in overall structure, we are closely monitoring the situation for PvP, including the subsequent hunting flow and stronghold battles. We are aware that there are many people who have adapted quickly, but many people have been confused by the changes in their feelings, and as the changes and the big and small changes are reflected at the same time. Especially in the case of the hunting, you may have felt, or for the grind spots, you may have felt uncomfortable in a sense that it is different from the familiar currents. It is very sad feeling for adventurers who have had a hard time with sudden changes. This change was not just a numerical adjustment, but a structural reorganization of the entire combat system, especially when it comes to grinding spots. We have clearly set the design directions so that we could choose according to the attack. After analyzing your feedback with the results since the patch, there are some things that were in touch with the intended changes, and there were definitely some points that we didn't expect. Therefore, according to the original direction, the grind spots with excessively low attack profit will be upgraded, and the spots with excessively high profit will be reduced. The goal is to not sip and elevate a specific spot, but to create a reasonable structure in which the loot, including profits, is determined in line with the AP required by the grind spot. In addition, if there is an excessive aspect in the case of the uncomfortable elements or difficulty of the grind spot itself, including the mechanics, we will adjust it together. I don't think there are any people who don't want to go in this direction or who don't want to go in any direction or for change. Since we have informed us about the direction of the reorganization through the Hideout Ball, we believe that it is time to focus more on doing our best to ensure that the direction of the reorganization and the actual play experience are somewhat consistent as intended. We'll be more careful not to miss anything if there's a situation that changes direction after that, or if there is an inevitable specificity, we will definitely share it in advance. I will not change my desire to walk in coordination with you as an adventurer, and I will continue to think about better ways. The following is a story about PvP, and PvP is also updated in the future. Various factors such as reorganization related to resistance continue to be chaotic. In particular, we recognize the improvements are needed for the skills that the characters have been relatively hard, such as the so-called rock meta that has been pointed out consistently this year. First of all, the patches will be carried out for classes that are in urgent need of improvement in line with this reorganization of the combat system. We are also preparing to make adjustments to some classes, including Awakening Sage, for areas that are too strong. Other classes will also be closely analyzed and adjusted. Since PvP has a combination of character skills and equipment settings, these adjustments are intended to be as delicate and careful as possible. In short term, we will adjust the class that are in urgent need of improvement, and we will also draw a long-term picture. Thank you. So, Zerk. As the mouse movement has changed dramatically during the use of skills, you may have been frustrated with adventurers who enjoy Zerks. Prior to the overall PvP balance adjustment, the balance adjustment according to the mouse movement changes will be carried out first. First of all, please note that starting with the Berserker, other classes will also be adjusted due to the inability to move the mouse during the use of skill. Zerkers have to use lava drills to approach the enemy, but a limited number of times, and there was difficulty in not being able to change direction quickly. When you use the rooting or avoidance movement on the move to solve these difficulties, as long as your stamina allows, the lava piercing has been initialized and improved for continuous use. In the case of arousal status, we have added a linkage so that you could switch forward and backwards directions in the air, not at the time of landing after the aerial leap. Based on these changes, additional adjustments will be made during the overall PvP balance adjustment, so please, please stay tuned and let them know. So, with the lava piercing changed to prevent further travel distances from being used in beast mode, when linking with skills to rooting and avoidance movement technology, the cooldown of lava drill has been changed to reset. So river rock pushing. Defensive rulings have been changed from forward guard to super armor. Wide bombing. The skill name has been changed to river widespread. As a result, the technology icon has changed. When using the skill, the river unstoppable beast skill is given a runway wild state. The reinforced effect that could be achieved in the existing runway wild set has been changed to apply even if the intensity of the river is activated alone, so if it doesn't flow. The state of the bombardment of the runway wild state are separated, and the state of beast mode has been changed so that it can be maintained regardless of the skill wide bombing state. And for awakening, lava piercing, they made the similar change. In Giant's Leap, additional leaps have been changed to be followed in the air. After landing, W plus F or S plus F can be recast as usual. So this is when used in the air. And this is when used on the ground after landing. And this is the application. And this is the application. So I'm just going to see how this plays out on my Zerk. Shai, with the unification of the rules on the reduction of relative defenses, the changes were felt relatively large for Shai, who had made the Clouds technology a major advantage. Today, we have reflected improvements, both large and small, to ensure that the Shai can fight more reliable on their own PvE content. Even after today's patch, we'll be looking at additional improvements depending on the situation. This is a realistic improvement plan, and in addition, we are continuing to think more deeply about the identity of the Shai and the direction we need to move forward. Shai started out as a character specialized in life content and has played the role of buffer in party play through unique talents. However, over time, it has been determined that this original structure influences the overall balance or sometimes acts as a constraint on the character itself. In this context, we are open to a variety of possibilities and carefully seeking direction. Your voice, especially the adventurer who has played Shai for a long time, is a critical criterion for making future decisions. We will always keep an in-depth reference to your feedback through the official website bulletin board or the customer center, and we will use it as valuable base for setting the direction in the future. So Shai, let's see. The distance traveled by the skill has been increased by 25%. Added invincible effects applied to monster targets when using this skill. Let's see what the difference. So yeah, you move quite a bit with those somersaults. For the skill Shara, change to a skill that deals damage to enemies and restores health to allies. Health recovery effects increased by up to 300 depending on skill level. The projectile speed has been increased, and the maximum range that can be shot has been increased. For the skill Hey, added the super armor effect. The skill acquisition level has changed from 55 to 30. During the use of the skill, it was changed to prevent the drop action from appearing during the jump. However, if you fall from too high, your character may be harmed or killed. You're trying to land on the ground, but when the character is placed in the air again, you will get a drop motion. So let's see how that works. Okay, I don't play a Shai, but skateboarding. Don't get sick, added the super armor effect. Come here, hide. The technology or the skills cooldown has been changed from 4 minutes to 2 minutes. Pingri Pang added a knockback effect when the skill is hit. It's now move speed reduction is removed when a strike is successful, and all defense reductions minus 20 for 10 seconds are added. Changed to a skill that deals damage to a target that has been hit. Taste the Rat added forward guard effect when using the skill. And the use of the skill has been increased. The time the character can rotate according to the camera orientation. Echoes of the Earth, strike success. The stun effect has been added or changed to a knockdown. Wrath of the Sun, the movement speed reduction effect has been removed and the attack speed, casting speed decrease have been changed to increase up to 25%. The damage of the following skills has been adjusted. So quite a bit more damage. So they're allowing Shai players to grind solo more, which is good. I mean, here's the thing, right? Nobody likes to just play a support class only when people need support. So you want to be able to use that class during, solo play too. It actually helps you get more comfortable with it. So good for the Shais. Content, Solare Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame has been honored with the image of an adventurer who achieved the #1 spot in the class of the regular season. When you interact with the Hall of Fame's Warrior of Solare, you're going to consume 20 auras, Blessing of the Great Knight. You can get the buff effects so it's 20 energy. The Blessing of the Great Knight gives you 10% of breathing experience for 10 hours. And item, added 10% resistance to reduce duration to the Vitsari costume effect of the Shai class. Among the costume effects of the Shai class, the costume slot wearing effect description has been added to the description of the wearing effect of the costume. Monsters, the balance of Shihazar among the immortal halactic monsters have been adjusted. Added a message at the start and end of the special attack. Elvia fixed a phenomenon in which the life of the monsters in Hexe Sanctuary was being applied to a low level. As a result, the health of the monsters that appear in the Hexe Sanctuary has been increased by 100% compared to the previous one. Request knowledge. The Gumihu fake name request has been improved to guide the location of the request before the order is awarded. Background NPC effect cutscene. The Ataraxi and Byatsin main theme BGM has been renewed. Node Wars fix a phenomenon in which the damage of the new fire tower before the main battle was applied to the character's damage reduction. Then UI. This week's official server update has improved the notification message during cooking. So they're going to not have it pop up for 4 hours after you're done cooking your alchemy. Some notification message in the center of the screen have been improved as follows. With the screen center notification message that should be exposed or stacked, the message appear and disappear quickly depending on your priorities. High important messages have been changed to print normally without being simplified. So before change, after change. So let's see if we can see how fast they cycle through. So those are world bosses, get it? I don't see a change. Change notification message for exchange spikes and plummeting items to avoid being exposed. When the UI that uses a full screen, such as a world map, is turned on, the accumulated notification message has been changed so they are not exposed after the UI is terminated. The system message and the chat windows are exposed. Fixed a reinforced success failure message or Tuvala that's no longer broadcast. If the number of items found through the Find Items feature is large, it has been modified to reduce to 1 million or 1 million or 1 million. Don't really know. Okay. So some changes on the controller. Fixed a conversation with Fugar that prevented the request from Fugar to complete new experiences of Fugar. Fixed an issue where the switch character button could not be clicked in certain situations. Fixed some typos in the destroy Kadri Summonstone client. Some of the instructions for the Black Spirits Guide, Nader's Belt, have been revised. Adventure Journal, some awkward phrases, and Dev's Dictionary of Everything has been corrected. The Ambassador's miscellaneous character and the Someone's Secret request has been corrected. The value of hit damage reduction and avoidance is removed when the question mark of the defense is hovered in the bag. Fix the issue where the head defense of the difficulty of the Yellow Sea Party challenge did not increase normally. Fix an issue where the number of houses stored during the transfer of a vehicle was not displayed correctly. When wearing a water splash snorkel costume for Sage, the knee bending position was awkwardly exposed. Hash fixed a phenomenon in which the adjustment of the face area of the sergeant was awkwardly displayed on the customization screen. And when the Dorio's advice request was made, the phenomenon of some referrals not being shown have been corrected. So there you go. Blue Battlefield is here. I'm particularly looking forward to it. Shai and Zerk are getting some buffs, so I'd like to know how if you play Shai or Zerk as a main, I'd like to know your feedback. And some of you, I will see you out in Blue Battlefield. Hopefully I can get my lazy guild going. I've already put the call out. We'll see how many people appear. And other than that, like, comment, subscribe. Keep posting on the channel there. Discord me anytime. And we will see you on the next video. Have a great day.